when you go up front and you run up front in the way that Ryan has and you know, he's got the whole RPG team running really, really good. They've put in the time, they've put in the homework, they've run up front, they passed tech inspection, and the rumors still fly. And obviously Jeremy broke away on Sunday as well, was really quick on Saturday in KA Senior. Rumors start going. So SKUSA decided to take it back upon themselves to go after and impound the motors. And the reason for the impound versus just doing post-race tech inspection, which we mentioned a little bit on our Facebook comments, is that post-race tech inspection, while they do try to tear those motors down and go through as much as they can at the racetrack, it's a spot check. As heavy as they can go, they're on a time constraint. We really want these guys to go through the motors within 15 to 30 minutes, probably tops per engine, because we're running 7, 8 classes, sometimes 8, 9, 10 classes at a race, back to back to back to back all day long. Even when you want to tear them down at the finals, then Sunday night, everyone starts complaining because they got flights or they want to get on the road to go home soon. So when they impound the motors and they can do a further evaluation on the tech inspection, there's no extra pressure of this time constraint of 15 or 30 minutes to go heavy on it. Obviously, the logistical problem is that the U.S. Pro Kart Series is the next of the 15 national majors on the season, which is just less than 3 weeks away. So for Jeremy, for Ryan, for Ferguson, you know, they obviously, that's probably the motor that's their number one motor, or one of their number one motors. They'd love to have that engine back if it is legal and fully passes the checks to go and then get serviced, you know, refresh with a new piston, etc., whatever they want to do to it and how far they want to rebuild it, and then go race at the U.S. Pro Kart Series and go for Motorplex, because I think all 3 of them are going to be running that event. So that's ultimately what the outcome of it was. That was the big thing we announced over it, but really it's, you know, even Tom was like, all right, you want to claim this guy's motor? You want to see it? And everyone that was starting to, that he mentioned was starting to complain to him, was like, oh, no. You know, they're just in your pocket. No, don't put me. They didn't want to take responsibility for the comments of the rumors. They didn't want to disturb the paddock and piss anyone off. This is a fight the series are going to have to fight, the fight that the series have to fight all the time of tech inspection and cheating. And it's, you know, guys are going to try and find ways around the rules. The series are the police force, the cops that are trying to enforce the rules. So this was something they did. Ryan, obviously it happened to you, so let's pass it to you. Talk to me about at least the experience you had in tech and what you were aware of and you know, through Sunday. Walk us through it a bit.
Well, I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened. I mean, I've gotten, in 2019, I had like 2 or 3 engines taken and sent to Europe. In 2018, when I was with, or 2017 with Burrell, I also had an engine impounded and sent to Europe. In 2016, a lot of people are saying I was cheating. My engine was cheating, and it got scrutinized a lot. But I've had it happen before. You know, it's really unfortunate that it happens to a team. You know, I agree with them taking it. You know, let them take it. Let them do the further inspection, you know, if they think it's cheating. And okay, certify it, make sure it's not. But after that, if it's not and it passes, you know, at a time like now where there are basically no engines in the world, like there are, you know, the last I heard, there are very few engines in the entire world right now. And it's hard for a team, you know, with 25 guys like we have, where we don't have enough. We have enough engines, but that one engine does do a big difference to the team. You know, it does disrupt 25 guys. You know, you have a lot of guys, and a lot of guys need engines, and so losing one is pretty harmful. I mean, I get it. They do it. They've done it before. This isn't like the first time this has happened to us. It'll pass, and they'll send it back. They won't send it back. They'll take it. But I wish they would send it back. I mean, it would be nice if they would send it back and let us use it again, because like you said, we do have USPS in a week, and losing an engine, you know, when you have all the drivers lined up, you've got everything, you know, at its limit, and then you lose one engine, it just does disrupt, you know, the team and the flow. And I'm sure Ryan can attest to it. You know, when you invest a lot in your team and everything, and then one little bit is taking it up, you know, you're running on, you know, it's hard to run a team anyways. To lose something, you know, important like that, and one engine like that, it does disrupt the flow of everything, and it does, you know, upset and make it hard for a team to function a little bit.
Yeah, Ryan, that's a good point. I mean, you're the one that, you know, runs your operation is anywhere from 15 to 20 guys a weekend now. I mean, you take a motor out of the rotation if you've got a lot. How much of a stress does that become to you? Because you got to kind of redo your logistics even.
Yeah, I mean, for me. Oh, sorry, wrong Ryan.
I meant wrong Ryan. I meant Perry. I meant the guy running the team. Yeah. But you're involved, obviously, Perry.
Yeah,
it's tough. I mean, we're having to send our engines back between races, put them on a pallet and send them all back, rebuild them all. And we only have so many engines. And then, like Ryan said, they are a little bit limited on the supply. And I mean, the last I got engines, they had plenty, but I heard they were going to be running thin, so could get tricky for sure.
Braden, your engine I think got claimed too at that same time with Allison when you guys were both on Brandon's motors at Summer Nats, I think, right?
Yeah, so it was 2017, the race that I went 17th to first and had super good pace. They didn't take the whole engine. They took my cylinder, kept it for a couple months. Supposedly they did checks. I mean, I hope they're doing checks. I mean, that's what always my question is. You know, as soon as it leaves, if the series takes something and they say they're going to do something, at the end of the day, they could just put out a press release and say, yeah, it's all good. So from my end, I hope that they're you know, actually looking into it. On my end, they said they looked into it. Like 3 months later, they sent it back to us, and that engine was, I mean, we put the engine back together, and I never ran it again because I was kind of getting out of karting. But yeah, they've done similar things in the past.
Yeah, and it's not new. And I think that's where the catch-22 is, right? Like, they can't expose to a degree, like, everything they do to, like, you know, give you, like, a pull the curtain back or, like, you know, video or pictures of how they check and what tools they have. Because the moment they do that, then, you know, a guy's going to analyze it and find a way to get around it, right? So to a degree, you kind of have to have it, like, behind a black curtain, I feel. It's good that they're doing it. And like Ryan said, the whole point is to ensure – you know, clarity, right? If it all it does is it validates Ryan's win, it validates Jeremy's win, and it validates, you know, Troy's win.
It is what it is. I just wish we'd get them back at the end of the day. I mean, especially right now. I think, you know, we've had it before where it's been okay, but right now, I mean, I know it's tight with the manufacturers and stuff, and it's hard to get chassis right now too. I mean, it's hard to get anything, so it's a delay. So especially at this time period where we are going from like one race to the next race to the next race to the next race, and the truck doesn't go home. It's difficult. You know, it's difficult for any team to lose something like that. You know, it's just hard. So yeah, I wish they'd send it back. So at the end of the day, you know, if it's legal, like, okay, you know, can we have it back? And I'm sure Jeremy and Brandon, you know, from Allison would say the same thing, and same thing for the kid at Micro. It's like, well, it was my good engine, and I do like it. So if it's legal, can we at least just have it back? So
allow everybody to bring everything up to spec. I think with spec racing, there's a larger disparity between engines rather than if you were to open it up and allow some porting and some machining. I think the racing would be a lot closer. It'd come down more to driver and setup rather than going through so many engines, so much material to come up with a few good engines. It's a lot more expensive like this, that's for sure.
Right. And going on the logistical part too, Dalton, I mean, you've got like probably 1-2 engines to your name. If your motor gets claimed and you don't get that back, you probably ain't racing.
No, dude, I have 2 engines, and one of them is literally 4/10 off is my practice engine. The other one's pretty good. I got good engines at the end. 2 engines, that's all I got.